It certainly is. Hurricane season's here, Whitney, and it'll be here for 182 more days for those of you who are keeping count, maybe keeping a count down. All right, this afternoon, if you're getting out and about, we do have a few showers we are tracking coming in from the east. These are associated with the that low pressure that's out in the Gulf of Mexico. Notice more widespread down along the coast, a few isolated showers on the north shore, and we could definitely see a shower or two here in the metro, but most of this is going to be near the coast today. You could see anywhere down into Plaquemines, down into Lower Jefferson, Grand Isle, Lower Lafourche to Leeville, Golden Meadow, down towards Port Fourchon. You've got some rounds of showers moving on through, and these are moving, so they're not going to sit on you, and anywhere you get rain today, it's not going to sit on you. We do have east winds, 10 to 15 miles an hour, so that's keeping things moving. Here is that area of low pressure. It's currently sitting about 250 miles southeast of New Orleans. The National Hurricane Center has been tracking this overnight, really saw a concentration and uptick in the storms, and then that's what helped this thing organize more, so that's why they bumped the chances of development up. And so we do think this is probably going to be at least a depression, but could be perhaps a tropical storm if the hurricane hunters go out there and find that it has strong enough winds. Now, the hurricane hunters are going to take off here in about 45 minutes or so. They're currently looking at our visible satellite. Step off here so you can see the whole thing. You can tell it's got some spin in there, but notice how there's not much happening on the southern side. That's because we've got all the dry air. Now, if you zoom in here, you could see that circulation right in here. Showers and storms trying, but some of that dry air is getting sucked up into it. So when the hurricane hunters come in here, they will fly through what we think is the center. They will determine, one, is it a completely closed low? I think it is. And do the winds meet the criteria for it to be a depression or a tropical storm? So that's what we're waiting on. If you look at your buoy winds here, we're seeing winds gusting to 34 just on the north side or around that low pressure. You've got them sustained at 27. Now, that same buoy did gust to over 50 miles an hour a couple of hours ago as that storm, as that low pressure was slowly lifting to the north here. So it'll be interesting to see what the hurricane hunters find when they go on out. Once again, they take off here in about 45 minutes from Keesler. They'll go check it out. They'll be in the system at about 2 o'clock, so it takes about an hour and 50 minutes to get that far out there. But we will see what they find, and what they find will determine, well, does it become our depression or our first named storm of the season? More importantly, where's this thing headed? Well, it's not coming here. It's not going to the northern Gulf Coast here. It's not going to the Panhandle. I've seen a lot of people posting, well, it's going here, here, here. It's not going really anywhere today. It's going to sit about right there for the next 12 hours or so. Let's put it in motion. It's not moving. The steering currents aren't very strong even into tonight. Now, tomorrow it will finally start to go to the south, still not heading towards Florida. Yes, you're going to have showers and storms over Florida, but the actual low pressure, and if it is a tropical storm, it's probably going to remain in the Gulf for its entire life. And then I think it's going to make its way maybe down to Cuba. And then that's when this thing is going to get shredded by wind shear. Now, what is steering this thing to the south? Well, at the moment, there's not a whole lot steering it. There's a ridge of high pressure over it. It's not got a whole lot of movement. But as we go into tomorrow and Saturday, trough coming down, you've got a ridge of high pressure. This is going to pull it down away from the northern Gulf Coast. And then eventually Saturday and Sunday, this trough is strong enough, it will actually start to pull whatever's left, probably just the moisture off towards South Florida and the Bahamas. If it does get a name, first name on the list this year is Arlene. Whitney asked me earlier this morning, is Whitney on the list this year? It is. And I tell you what, we don't want to get to the W, and it's very rare to get to the W. So hopefully don't meet any Hurricane Whitney this year. Wind forecast for us, breeze today, breeze tomorrow. It'll start to settle this weekend. If you're wanting to get on the boat, this weekend is looking a lot better, but there is a chop today and tomorrow, so not the best idea in a small craft. And then look at the temperatures. We're going to crank up the heat to the low to maybe mid-90s on Sunday. So going to be hot. It's going to be humid, as I've been saying for the past 24 hours, 12 hours, I guess. It is June, surprise. It's going to be hot. It's going to be humid with some storms around. But overall, we don't have any big tropical threats. This one is not going to have really any big impacts on anyone on the northern Gulf Coast. We'll just be watching for a few showers each and every day.